Good evening, boys and girls. Happy hump day. That's right. Finally, the window is shut. So programming will resume as normal. Well, as normal as it can be when you're talking about the Arsenal. Here we go.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.
You have reached your destination. Indeed, we are here. And as per usual, joining me is my podcast brother from another mother, Mr. Super Kevin Campbell.
Hi, Soph.
How's it going?
Yeah, I'm good.
I love the Peaky Blinders meets
89.
Old school London meets 89 shirt. Love that.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Great
something
look, Kev.
Something a little bit different.
Yeah. So here we are, Kev. We made it through another transfer window. I'm sure every single Arsenal fan is feeling very jaded today. I'm thinking some Arsenal fans are like just taking a nap tonight. But for those squaddies who have joined us again, Super Kev,
we salute you 100%. Addies.
All right.
Yeah,
so here's
people are going to be jaded. People are going to be a little bit jaded, and
yeah, they might be taking a night off, Kev.
Yeah, they might be taking a night off, and also, Sophie, I'll tell you this much: a lot of the fans will be unhappy at the transfer activity. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah,
they will be,
and we've seen some of that displeasure expressed. But, boys and girls, it's time to move on. It's time to pretend that those first 3 games never, ever happened.
That's hard. Jeez. But they're gone now. But they're gone.
They're gone. You know what, Kev? Rearview mirror. You don't look back. You got to look forward.
True.
And I'm not dismissing what happened. I'm just saying that the international break might be a blessing in disguise. And now Mikel Arteta has his team. No more excuses for this manager. All right. Mm-hmm. So here's the challenge for tonight, Kev. As you know, the squaddies do like a little bit of Sophie time, but we've had 2 very long shows in succession. And if you missed last night's show with David
Hillier. Hilsey to his mates.
Hilsey to everyone else. You should go catch it. A brilliant football conversation and a transfer show with a twist, because we got into everything from the mind of the player. You won't want to miss it. The guys rewinded a little bit, talked about their own experiences in the transfer market and being in the dressing room with new players coming and stuff like that. So you won't want to miss that. Really good show. It's on the channel right now for replay. Okay, tonight's challenge, we're not doing Wednesday Women or Wednesday Wisdom tonight. We're doing something a little bit different.
Because I'm on.
Well, I'm still here. Well, you know, I might be half and half. Who knows these days?
Give me some props. I'm a man.
Yes, you are, Super Kev. Whoa, there is no doubt in that. So I wanted to try a little bit something different, Kev, right? So we've got 5 subjects. There's going to be no alarm. Don't panic, Newman. It's not going to disrupt your nap time if you fall asleep. We've got 5 subjects, 5 minutes, 25 minutes total for that segment. Do you think I can do it, Kev?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
I do.
I love
think
it.
You can do it. I do.
I love it. And a quick shout out real quick.
Hold on. Is that with us both answering?
Yes, of course.
No, we can't do it.
Seeds of doubt.
No, I didn't. There's no seeds of doubt. I says, no, we can't. It's not even seeds of doubt. It's no chance. Sometimes on one question, we're like 25, 30 minutes in. All right, we can have a go. We'll have a good go.
Wait, remember, I did post, the caveat was, it doesn't include the intros or the outros, okay? It's just the segment. So that's not to say the show's going to be an hour and a half today, because it's not. It's going to be nice and tight. Look, everyone, Winston says no chance. Lone Star says yes. Newman says no. Well, we all know he's, negative. Martin says nope. So we have a little bit of everything. All right. I did want to say very quick something real quick.
Oh, is that true?
Exactly. They're over talking a bit already.
Oh, did you light up Arteta on Talksport?
Apparently I did.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know. I should post that. I did want to give a shout out real quick here to our girl Soph from Gooner Gossip TV, Kev. Mm-hmm. There are some vile people on Twitter and they say horrible things and it's completely unnecessary. And a bunch of us in the Arsenal community, even the Chelsea community and beyond, stood up and said, Twitter, this is unacceptable. And like you've said before, Kev, when it comes to racism, abuse, and all of that jazz.
Bullying, yep.
It's up to them to change it. We can only do so much when we report it and we complain about it and we show them these disgraceful people who think that just because they're behind a keyboard and no one can see who they are, they can do what they want. So we just wanted to send some love to Soph tonight and just know that the Highbury squad and the squaddies are behind you no matter what.
We're with you, darling. Make no mistake, we're with you. 100%.
Always. Well said, Taib, as well. Okay, here we go. So, Kev, we're going to get right stuck into this. This is the Arsenal 5 challenge. 5 subjects, 5 minutes, 25 minutes in total for this segment. The time now in California is 12:07, which means in grand old Blighty, it is 8:07. As soon as I start asking the first question, that is when our time kicks in, Kev, and it is you and me. All right?
Cool.
Okay, here we go. Question number 1. You answer first. How much time do you give to trust the process now Arteta has his own team?
Well, I think it's how quick we can get the players out on the pitch. Look, whatever's gone's gone. We know now we need the players that he's bought and everybody else who was at the club previously that he's bought to play. Norwich we've got to concentrate on Norwich. We've got 2 weeks to prepare. Some of the players are coming back from COVID. Some are coming back from injury, etc., etc., etc. We definitely need them playing in that game because we need 3 points. And a draw or anything is not going to be tolerated, Sophie. We need 3 points, and that's what we have to do.
Yeah. So the question was, how much time do you give to trust the process now Arteta has his own team? I'm not quite sure you answered it fully.
Look, normally I always say 10 games, but I say the next 3 games.
Okay. Next 3 games are Norwich, Burnley, and we have an EFL Cup game in between. And then we have the North London Derby. For me, Kev, if we get to the North London Derby and we only have 2 or 3 points and we lose in a very disgraceful fashion to them and we're humiliated, I just don't see how someone like him can keep his job. However, when you invest £150 million in the transfer market, you have new players that he specifically has chosen. I think it's very difficult to just say, hey ho, he's got to go. So I do believe he'll get until at least November. If things are tricky until then, I think that he will be asked to leave. Now, here's the scoop though, Kev. It is very difficult then to ask someone to come in and try and salvage it. There might be a little bit of arrogance here thinking, you know what, we're not going to be in a relegation battle. We're going to climb out of those positions and we'll just be okay. So if it doesn't work out, someone new can come in and also help us get past that. So for me, it's got to be no later than Halloween. Nothing worse than, nothing better though than I say worse or better. It's going to be tough. You can't go into November having very few points in this league. Now everyone's caught up with us. So it's got to be by Halloween. Otherwise, it'll end up being a nightmare on Arsenal Street.
Yeah, we'll be all right, Soph. I believe we'll be all right in the end.
Okay. Question number 2. Do you think Arsenal fans will give the new signings a chance, even if we get off to a terrible start as this new team is trying to be gelled together?
No, not at all. Some of the players weren't even in the club, and they were getting barracked by some of the Gooners. So no, there is no time. Patience isn't something that Arsenal fans are blessed with at the moment. And as I said, the likes of Ramsdale never even come to the club, and he was getting, "Don't come to our club. We don't want you." You know, this despicable stuff was being thrown at the young man. And he's an Arsenal man now. He wears that badge, so we should be supporting him. What should happen and what isn't happening is two different things, Sophie. So I think the fan base is split, if I'm honest with you, at times. It's a results business. We do need wins, Sophie. You start winning, then the fan base feels a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah. It's really interesting right now, Kev, seeing everyone give Willian love after he's at the airport hugging his dad. And, you know,
they give him love because he's not at the club anymore. That's why.
Right. And he's nullified his contract.
And he did do a classy thing, let's be honest.
Well, he did more so than a lot of the other players that were clinging on to those contracts, didn't he, Kev?
Yeah.
So I really hope, I put out a tweet yesterday saying, look, in my mind, it's like no matter what you feel about Arteta, no matter what you think about Edu, Vinay, the owners, we've got to get behind these players, and especially these new players. Make them feel the love, make them feel welcomed, give them a roar, give them a cheer if you're in the stadium, give them love from afar if you cannot be there. Let's just stick together and create this, you know, incredible vibe of support for them. They need us. We need them. We're relying on them to help change the fortunes of Arsenal Football Club, Kev. Yeah. And they need to feel like confident going in, fearless going into this, this period of games. Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what, Sophie? Here's one thing I will say. I don't think the fans really understand how much of a role they play for a team. Because, you know, when the crowd are with you, it feels as though you can walk on water. When you're on the pitch, it feels like we can't get beat. But we know when times are hard and there's a little bit of derision in the stands, etc. You see the actual confidence drain away from players in a split second.
Yeah.
So we've all got our part to play. And yeah, if things ain't going right, we'll call it out. But you know what? Let's get behind the lads. We need each other to get through this, because that's the only way we're going to do it.
And Kev, you know, the important thing is you can't kill a player before he's even kicked the ball. Let him wear the shirt. Let him get comfortable in that badge. You always talk about it. You wear that badge, doesn't matter where we are in the league, it's still the Arsenal badge. It comes with a lot of weight. You're playing for one of the biggest clubs in England. And remember, guys, I've always said this to everyone, Kev. Don't mistake being a terrible Premier League team right now for still being a big club. All right? And I'm going to move on to question number 3, because a lot of this comes into it. And this is why I want the Arsenal universe to unite like the grandest, biggest ever army, squad, you name it, whatever it is. Because you know what? They are waiting to throw the darts at us. And it's already started. Kev, I know how you feel about this. Question number 3. Why are people pointing the finger at the Arsenal after pointing the finger at the Arsenal for so long for not having spent big money? Just because we haven't spent 150 million on 1 or 2 players, we are getting killed by the media. Even folks like Gary Neville calling us out saying, I don't see what the plan is. I don't see what the strategy. Well, we've bought youth, and it seems like they're going to have patience to let these guys play and gel together. Kev, I'm sick and tired of this narrative and this attack. We as fans, we can point the finger at our manager, the owners, and the team. We watch them week in, week out.
It's an in-house thing for us, isn't it?
It's an in-house thing. Yes. So, Kev, You've always told me, George Graham, us against the world. I'm just going to let you take this one away because I know how strongly you feel about it.
Oh my God. Look, again, from when I was a kid coming through at Arsenal, this was the narrative. I got into full-time football at Arsenal, and George Graham, the first meeting he had with us, he said, you know the media are against us. You know they want us to fail. So it's us against them. When we are successful, they smile through gritted teeth. They want us to fail so badly. And then we go on such great runs and having invincibles and all that, and it kills them. I'm telling you, it kills them to see Arsenal leading the pack and at the top. And I know we can't always be at the top every time, but here's the thing, Gooners. If you can celebrate and enjoy it while you're at the top, you definitely, when we're not doing so well, you definitely can get behind a football club. Even though you might not agree with what's going on, it's our club. It ain't their club. And you see Gary Neville, if people start having a go at Manchester United, you see how quick he starts defending Manchester United.
Yes.
This is for us to support. This is for us to get behind the football club. It's the Arsenal. It's the Arsenal for a reason. And we are the biggest club in the capital. Make no mistake about it. Arsenal are the club. Yeah, we're going through tough times, etc. Transition, trust the process. Call it what you want. It don't matter. We still have our part to play, and let's play it. And always remember, the same ones who spit out the hate, let's hope they have the same energy when we rise again. So let's just make sure we do the right thing and hold it close to our heart, because that's where the club is. We might not like what's going on, but the club is in our hearts.
And Kev, Ratchet, it's always darkest before the dawn. I love that. And you know what? You know, you could be Arteta in or out, but you're an Arsenal fan. You don't support Arteta. You don't support the players. You support the club,
Arsenal.
the badge. You're an Arsenal fan. You know, if it's Ozil wearing the shirt, or if it was Bentner wearing the shirt, or if it was Andre Santos wearing the shirt, we support our club. And all we do is implore you, please give them a chance. And I'm telling you if I get 5 minutes with Jamie O'Hara, I can't wait for it. Because you know what? There's banter, and then there's just deliberately every other line, you're giving Arsenal as the anti-example to success, or what you believe success to be. And another one I've got here, Kev, is Paul Merson, your old teammate, okay? On Sky yesterday, he's mimicking the club, sitting there, okay, lounging on the couch. And if you're listening to this, Mr. Merson, think about it, all right? When you were in the team, if you had this type of attack from ex-Arsenal players, you think Geordie Armstrong or George Graham or Frank McClintock would be going after you like that? No, they'd be measured, and they would tell the truth, and they would express themselves of concern and point out the deficiencies of the club and the things. But you're actually sitting there and you're taking the piss and then saying you could do a better job than Adu. I'd love to see you do a better job than Adu. And I'm not an Adu fan, but don't sit there and take the piss out of your club and let everyone around you laugh. That was disgusting, in my opinion.
Again, Sophie, this seems to be a recurring situation with Merce at times, because he tells it through the Merce is a Chelsea fan, but he's played for the Arsenal. He's had great times at the Arsenal, and again, it's his opinion, but I think it's the way that it's done is the tough part. I watch it and I just shake my head. I think,
cringed. I cringed yesterday, Kev.
No, don't even go. I'm thinking to myself, and I'm looking at him, I'm saying, Merce, don't go there. Don't go there. Don't even go there. But again, Sophie, here we are. Because when things change, sometimes the opinions change, and they'll come out with "I told you so." So always remember, log it down, write it in a diary, log it down.
You know what? I don't care if he's a Chelsea fan, you guys. I hear it. But you know what? He was paid handsomely, and Arsenal Football Club made him a very famous player where he went on to play and earn a lot of good money from a lot of different clubs. All right? He learnt his craft there. Don't shit where you learnt your craft. That's all I'm saying. Question number 4. Kevin, will Saka and ESR progress or regress this season?
I think they will progress. I honestly think they will progress. And here's the reason why I think they will progress. I think they will progress because there's going to be times where they don't play. If that makes sense. I honestly, truly believe that these 2 young men have played too much football. They've played too much football, Sophie, over the last year. And having this football club on their shoulders is too much. It really is too much. So I believe they will play their quota of games 100%. But I think now we've got players there now who we could plug and play. You know, we've got Pepe there, we've got Odegaard there, we've got Smith Rowe, we've got Saka, we've got Aubameyang we've got Martinelli. I think now we can alternate players a bit more to give players a rest. And sometimes, you know, when you're on the sideline and you're watching, sometimes you learn more as a young player. Sometimes you do learn more. So I am expecting them to move forward, especially because our form's got to improve. Our form can't carry on the way it has done. We've got to win some games. We get some games around us. What we need is a bit of momentum as a football club. Because once we get a bit of momentum, I feel all the Arsenal fans will hopefully come together as one. Don't have to agree on everything, but come together as one against everybody else.
Kev, what do you think about Demsek's comment? Because I think it's actually, I think you touched on it just at the very beginning. They need less responsibility to allow them to grow.
Yeah,
right?
Of course. Again, that weight of the club is being carried by these 2 young players. I've said it so many times, Sophie. It's too much for them. Yeah, they are great young men. And you know what? They don't say boo to a goose and they just get on with it, Sophie. But it's too much. They cannot carry this football club is too big for a 19 and 20-year-old to carry.
And Saka's gone off for England duty again. ESR, Emil Smith-Rowe. Some people don't like it when I say ESR. It's just quicker, you guys, especially when I'm on a time crunch today. Yeah. You know, he's going to get some rest. I say rest loosely. He's going to be training. He's going to be doing his thing. But obviously, Saka's going to have to travel. He's got to go to Hungary. It's a lot different. You know, he's tired. He's exhausted. I think
Saka's
we've talked about that.
in the England squad now, isn't he? He's a fixture.
Yes. And we're going to have to be expecting this through until the next World Cup, that he is going to be out there, whether he plays in the squad or not. Every time he's going to be in the team, he's going to be part of the squad all the time, isn't he, Kev?
Definitely. And that's why we've got to wrap him in cotton wool, Sophie. I'm telling you, he comes back from long journeys. You know, he's had a long summer. You're on the bench today. You get 15, 20 minutes today. You know, we've got to manage him properly.
Yeah, we definitely do. Right, you're listening to the Arsenal Challenge. 5 subjects, 5 minutes each, 25 minutes total. 12:07, 8:07 UK time we started. It's now 8:24, Kev. I got some cushion. Woohoo!
I've noticed that. I've just looked down and seen the clock. Wow, here we go then.
Here we go. Might get a bonus in. Question number 5. I don't know where it came from, and you guys in chat can correct me, but did Odegaard come out today and say a little bit along the lines of the Amazon All or Nothing documentary is a bit of a distraction, or he's not happy about it, Kev? I can't imagine any player who just wants to focus on their football is happy about this. Are you worried that this documentary is going to affect this new young team as they need to just focus on gelling together and playing football?
Look, There's no excuses, Soph. There's no excuses about cameras. They're used to having cameras around the training ground now. They're used to having this. I think what tends to happen, Sophie, is when you don't start well, things like that become a distraction. Do you understand what I mean? Because if we'd won our first 3 games, I can guarantee you wouldn't have been hearing, the Amazon documentaries a distraction. So you can't have it both ways. So it's there, you get on with it. The real difficult part for me is that the players, the new players now, just get ported into this thing. They don't have a choice. They're just, It's there, the club have already agreed to it, and they're getting ported in where maybe you just want to knuckle down and do your job. Now you're having to speak to the camera and try and be positive when you've been battered. You know what I mean? It's not easy. It's a hard one.
A couple of people are saying, well, it didn't distract Man City. You guys, we don't have that squad. We do not have Man City's squad, and we've got a lot of young players. And I've seen a couple of the chat box write too, Kev, that these young players are used to it because of Instagram. They don't think twice about turning the camera on themselves and adding it to their stories. They don't think twice about any of that stuff. So why should it bother them? Yeah,
it's a lot different because it's at your place of work. And you're going to be judged on this the show. That's the difference. They choose when they turn on Instagram and cameras. On this one, they don't have a choice. So that's why. Yeah, they don't. They don't have a choice. Right, that was my 5, and that took 20 minutes. I'm sorry, you guys. How impressed are you with the fact that I did 5 questions, 5 subjects in 20 minutes? So this means I get to ask a bonus question to Super Kevin Campbell. Someone just stepped in the room and said, are you kidding me? I finally got to come to a live show, and it's the one that's only 25 minutes long. Here we go, future. So I'm 25 minutes and discover it's 25 minutes. I love that. Oh, jeez.
It's just the segment. It's just the segment. I'm practicing my time management skills here, you guys.
Well, you're eating up the time. Let's get the 6th one going.
Okay, here we go, Kev. Do you think that with the new players that we have in the squad, that we can expect 20 goals from Aubameyang this season?
Yeah, I expect Aubameyang to get 20 goals, full stop. Anyway, with the upgrades in the team, the key to it is if we're not conceding, it gives us more opportunity at the top end of the pitch. It does. Because we've seen times where against Manchester City, we attack, don't get anything. They attack, they score. They attack, they score. It just takes all the wind out yourself. So yes, I do expect Aubameyang to get 20 goals this season.
Kev, do you expect it because you think players like Odegaard are going to have and be able to have a little bit more composure and time on the ball? Is it because of the midfield that forget Xhaka for a minute? Do you feel
I've already forgot him. Don't worry about
that. Do you feel like it's because of players like him?
I think
that we're going to.
Yeah. Sophie, you hit the Odegaard's one, Partey coming back, and Lokonga. Sambi, he'll be able to be released a bit further forward and he can pick a pass, that boy. He's been the real one shining light for us. And I want to see that partnership with him and Partey take shape in the next 3 games. So I believe there will be more opportunities for Aubameyang. And we know he can score goals, Sophie. But we've got to get him the opportunities. If we get him the opportunities and he misses them, then fair enough. But we've got to get him the opportunities. We've got to get him in front of that goalkeeper, and so we can finish him off.
And also, he's got to have his shooting boots on for real now, Kev, right? When we get chances, because we've had so few chances, when he gets them, he's got to change that percentage conversion rate.
He's got to be clinical. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant. That was not only 5, that was 6. and it's 12:30, and I started at 12:07. So I think, Kev, I did it. I think I managed to do it.
You listen, you're more than done it. Jeez. Wow. You're more than done it.
Samurai Soph in action right here. You know what? A day before I turn 50, Kev, just saying right here.
There you go.
What?
Is that to cut the cake?
That's to cut the cake. For sure.
It's a big cake, I tell you.
Also, Kev, we've got 500 solid right now, and you know what to do. Come on.
Go on, Vinny, son. Go on. It's it. Vinny's on it. Love it. Love it.
All right. Well, look, you guys are hot right now, so why don't you ask us whatever you want? I wanted to also say, Kev, nut it. I love that. Because Kev said nut it a few weeks ago, by the way, you guys. Nut it. It is Vinny time now, not Sophie time. That's done. Xhaka not only is banned for 3 matches, but he has COVID now too, Kev. It's not been a good week for him, has it?
No, it's not been a good time for Granit Xhaka. And, well, listen, anybody getting COVID is not a nice thing. So all we can do is wish him well. And, you know, He's got a timeout. He's got a timeout from playing for Arsenal anyway because he's banned for 3 games. So, you know, rest up, Granit, sit down, and hopefully Sambi and Partey could do the business in there so you could rest a little more.
So one of the questions I had for Kevin, seeing as there's like a lot of you in chat right now, you know me, I just can't let you go. It's like that scene from The Godfather where Al Pacino says, "Just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in."
There you go. No way out. Campbell, no way out, Campbell.
Campbell, I'm going to have you for 5 more minutes, Campbell. George Graham style. Campbell.
On the training pitch, come on.
Hold on a second, Campbell. Speaking of being in trouble, what's going on here then, eh?
Well, as you could see with that smile and Pat Rice's grimace, that was me taking money off Ricey. Because we had a bet this season about headed goals, and I think that was in October or November time at Coney, where he had to pay up. I think he paid me about 4 times that season. So that was 87-88 season. So that's the year we won the FA Youth Cup.
Kev, this is fantastic. Do you think when you went to Everton and stuff like that, did coaches still do that type of stuff, like even at Forest? Because I think it's such a cool thing that you had this bet with the legend that is Pat Ryan, one legend to the other.
Hey, do you know what, Sophie? Because you only do them things when you're in the youth team because you need the money. I was on £27.50 a week. I needed the money. I had to try and bet. Obviously, it was just about gambling on horses. That's not my thing. But backing myself, I back myself. And you know what else, Sophie? This is another exclusive for the Highbury squad. You know who else? Do you know who else I used to bet? David Dein.
David Dein?
David Dein. Because David Dein used to be at all of the South East Counties games at Coney. If we had a home game at Highbury, he would be at London Coney until maybe an hour gone, and then obviously he has to go and he's got duties to do at Highbury. So obviously he would always say, "How many are you going to get today, Super Kev?" And I would say, "Blah blah 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 blah." So I'm always backing myself. So he says, "Okay." He heard about the bet from me and Pat Rice. So he said, "Okay, well," he said, "I'll bet you. I bet you don't score X amount of goals by a certain time." So that was shake hands on it, done. So I had 2 going at the same time. Sophie, this is where a tenner could make a real difference, man. I'll tell you, a tenner could make a real difference.
I mean, Kev, you were on £27.50 a week.
Yeah.
Wow, that is crazy. And a tenner.
And the next year, Soph. The contract was £27.50 the first year and a whopping £35 the second year.
Wow. What a difference to the beginning towards the middle and end of your career, right, Kev? Like, wow.
But the appreciation, Soph, the appreciation. And remember, I'm doing boots at that time. All this time, I'm doing boots and doing kit and cleaning, and I'm shoveling snow from the North Bank and all that. You know, when you to make the game playable, whenever it's snow, I'm doing the gritting with the boys, and we're doing all that. So an extra tenner was massive to me. Honestly, it was huge.
And who was the cheapskate who
Viv Anderson. Viv Anderson, I'm calling him out. I will call him out. Charlie Nicholas. I done four lots of boots. I done George Graham. I done Theo Foley. I done Charlie Nicholas, and I done Viv Anderson. Right? And even George Graham, you know, George Graham, he's got deep pockets and short arms. You know what I mean? He didn't want to pay. He didn't want to pay for anything, right? He didn't want to pay for anything. But Sophie, he still give me a bullseye at Christmas, right?
Oh yeah, nice.
Viv Anderson said to me, "You owe me 20." I said, "What?"
So I love that. So I could hear that story over and over again.
And reluctantly, he begrudgingly gave me 20 quid. And I see him all the time, and I say, "You know what, Viv, you still owe me money." And he says, "You owe me money." He said. So
was he trying to teach you? Was he trying to teach you, like, you know, the old hard graft? You know,
listen,
or was
I don't
he just
know what
a
he was trying, but he failed miserably.
It's amazing, Kev, because so many people in chat are, you know what they're saying now? Can you believe, like, Runnerson's was on 40 grand a week, and these young players on, you know,
God.
I mean, we've talked about with Hilsey, haven't we, on the Tuesday-ish club and stuff like that. I mean, seriously.
I mean, what people must remember at the time, it's such a privilege to play for Arsenal. £27.50 was like, I swear to you, was like 40 grand to me. So
what year was that, like, Kev? What year was it?
86.
86,
First time George Graham came in. 86, 87 was my first year as YTS. Second year was 87, 88. And that picture was in 88. 87, 88 season. And, you know, I cleaned right up until past 18. Clean boots, done the coach, used to do the kit, the boots, get Sundays, do all the after the games, waiting outside the dressing rooms, home and away, having to do the cleaning, stuff like that. But it makes you so. It does. And do you know what it does, Sophie? As a fan, it makes you love the club even more, because everybody appreciates you've come through the ranks. Me and my brother there came through the ranks together, cleaning, doing all the dirty work, the dirty jobs.
I love this picture.
What was that, 12-year-old? I was in that picture. So,
and here, Kev, look at you. Look, you were 15?
15, yeah, playing in the South East Counties Cup against under-18s at Cambridge.
This is why you know what these fellas feel like. This is why you know what they feel like. Like, you know, Kev.
Sophie, I know exactly what they feel like, but I also know that they need support. They really do need support of the experienced players in our squad to take it away from them. They should be just playing free, Sophie.
Yeah.
They should be playing free.
Yes,
you know,
Kevin.
And they're not, because the weight of the club is on their shoulders. You know, so Tony Adams said to me, I think I mentioned this to you, but I'll say it on air. Me and Tony Adams done a game, and Tony Adams was asked about me, and it's the first time I've ever heard Tony Adams talk like this, and he said it was harder for Kev because Kev had a first team that was already progressing ahead of him. So he had to play catch up to get in it. And I never even looked at it like that, Soph.
Well,
do you know what I mean? I never looked at it like that.
He's got a great point, because also, remember, Kev, when you were trying to break into that team at that time, there was no rotation. There was no rotation. Everyone played the
Two
League Cup,
subs.
the FA Cup,
Two
Europe,
subs.
2 subs.
That was it. 2 subs. And ahead of me was Alan Smith, Charlie Nicholas, Merce, Martin Hayes, Niall Quinn. Those are the 5 players ahead of me.
Not too bad as well. You're fighting some.
You're fighting. You can't even get on the bench, Sophie, because there's only 2 players on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I had to go on loan. I had to learn quick. So seeing Aziz go on loan, I'm so happy because he will grow up so much as a player. I tell you.
Yeah, I mean, and you've always said like you have this understanding where you say Aziz, this is going to be a good thing that he's gone on loan. Don't look at it as,
he's leaving the club because the club don't want him.
Right. And you actually also wanted Balogun to go on loan, didn't you, Kev?
I did. I wanted Balogun to go on loan because playing under 23s football, we know he's good at under 23s football, Soph.
Mm-hmm.
But when you see the jump from under 23s football to like a Brentford, it's a totally different game. The physicality is different. The way defenders manhandle you is different. So I truly believe Balogun going on loan and learning his trade, he will be so much better the next time he gets an opportunity.
Yeah. Brilliant stuff. And you guys, we talk about, Charlie Patino, Jack Wilshere was talking about Charlie as well. And a lot of people think that he might be one of the most talented players to come out. But like Kev says, until you see them play at that level, it's all well and good being good in the under 23s. But if you really want to make it, Kevin, it's not us saying being negative.
No.
We've got to see them play for the first team.
100%, Sophie. And you know what? As a football club, what you have to try and do is give them the best chance to make it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't mind Reece Nelson going on loan again. Because one day it's going to click for him. It might not be at Arsenal, but it has to click. I think the younger they go on loan, Sophie, the better.
Someone just said that they hope Aziz follows in the path of Emil Smith-Rowe, and I think that would be great because he has the same manager, you guys, that Emil Smith-Rowe had at Huddersfield, Cowley at Portsmouth. So that's a good point. Yeah. And Gunner for Life, I've got to put this up for you because he's written quite a few, Kev. Kev, you were an inspiration to me as a kid and a lot of others. And, you represent what the club lacks now. Said a lot of lovely things, as have many in the chat. And you guys will do more of these conversations when we have Kev and Hilsey on together on the Tuesday-ish club as well. This kind of moved spontaneously into this, but it tells you and it shows you that, when you talk to someone who's been through this process that Emil Smith-Rowe and Saka are going through, and differently, Martinelli's is young, he's come into the team. Kieran Tierney's come into the team, but those are players as well that we're all rooting for and we hope do well. You've got Aziz and Balogun who've been there, and you want to see them progress. And someone asked a question, and I'll end it on this one, Kev.
No, don't end it yet, Soph. Come on, don't end it yet.
I know, right? Well,
here's one for yourself. You've made all your points. You have. You've made all. Here's one for yourself. If the club are going in the going in the younger player direction, Balogun should be out on loan. Here's why. Because realistically, you're looking at 18 months to 2 years to really bed all of them down. So he should be learning his trade. So by the time 2 years come, he's had all the buffeting, he's had all the time, he's had all the bruises. And then he's ready. He can hold his own. But if he just plays under 23s football and sparingly is on the bench, he's not learning his trade. We need him to be doing 90 minutes week in, week out as best he can.
You really changed my perspective on this one because obviously, and that's the beauty of our show is, we get the professional perspective and then the fan emotional perspective in that, no, I want him to be given a chance. He's so talented. I want to see him. But that's not always the answer. And when you look at players like Mason Mount, right? You look at players like that. Even Harry Kane, went out on loan. David Beckham.
Loans,
How far do you want to go back? Beckham going out on loan. You went out on loan.
Twice.
So I get it, and obviously when you have so many young players, you want everyone to get a chance, but that doesn't always result in, them making it into the team. And then you have players like Willock and Reece Nelson, and Willock's gone now, but Reece Nelson, this is going to be great for him going to Feyenoord. Let's see, Kev, right? Let's see the type of player he comes back as.
And they concentrate on wingers.
Yes.
He will need to be, if he's going to play, he's got to have end product. Sophie, he's got to. Because that's the way the Dutch play. You need to be productive in your position if you're forward. And they might say, do you remember, I think we done a show and I said, maybe what he needs to do is someone to simplify his game.
Yes.
Maybe he needs to simplify his game. Because he's got tricks and all this street football stuff, but in the pros, that's not always the thing that will get you by.
It's not a FIFA game, is it, Kev? When you start playing in the real world, and I think everyone got excited too because Thierry Henry was all over Reece Nelson, wasn't he? He was the one. He pointed him out and talked about his talent as well, and so that's always hard when you hear a super legend talk about it in those regards. There was a question up here that I thought was quite interesting. This one, because obviously we all would love to see Saliba come back. Do you think he's done himself harm or good by choosing Liga again versus going to a Premier League team, Kev? Or are you just happy he's out there playing competitive football every week?
No, I would have wanted him to be in the Premier League. I would have preferred it that Arsenal could have recalled him, say, Christmas, if that was the case. And at least then we know, Soph, that he can do it and perform in the Premier League. So when we do recall him, he's going straight into our team, Soph. There's no ifs, buts, or maybes. He's going straight into our team. And yeah, he's a young man. He's a young man, and he's been through trauma, Soph. So I take that into consideration why he wanted to go back to France. I totally understand that. But from a totally selfish Arsenal point of view, if he's not ready in eyes of the manager or whoever, he goes on loan, he plays, he proves himself, and then he comes back and he's right in that team. But unfortunately, obviously they decided to go back to, he decided to go back to France and to Marseille, which I suppose maybe is a caring decision.
Yeah.
From a player point of view. But when you're at Arsenal, when you see the way we performed at Manchester City, he could have done no worse than any of them. He would have done a lot better. Let's be honest.
Yeah. No, yeah. Well, look, next Thursday, you guys, we're going to have Chris Carpenter on, who is a French football connoisseur. You may have heard Chris on a Bergkamp Wonderland, and he's going to be giving us a monthly update on Saliba and what's going on in the French league, and that kicks off next Thursday. We wanted to let all of the transfer nonsense die down before we kicked in some of our new series this season. And next Thursday, the French football squad will kick off with Chris, and we'll get an update on Saliba. And Kev, I can't wait to see what he does when he's defending Messi and Neymar and Mbappe. We've seen Neymar and Mbappe before. I'm not quite sure if Chris will tell us if he was in those games, but
yeah, I think he was last season.
I'm really curious to see how he does even more so this season. And of course, Guendouzi just got called up to the French squad. So he's not an Arsenal player anymore, but it just shows you that, going out and being in a different environment and being surrounded by different players and maybe a manager does elevate players. So Kev, before we go tonight, what is your message to the Arsenal nation after this transfer window? What would you like Arsenal fans to know from you?
I'd like Arsenal fans to just give it a chance to come together. And it's not for the manager, that's for sure, because whether the manager's here or he's not, it's the players who are the ones who are going to take us forward. So give some of the players who have just come in an opportunity, and let's unite, because we're all we got out there. I'm telling you, the media are after us. We are all we've got. So Arsenal family, squaddies, everybody come together.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. And don't forget, you guys, swing by. There's a good one. There wasn't one last week, but we've got a good one for you this week from Football Prizes. Kev, potential future Arsenal legend. It's too early to say yet, but my goodness, have we not fallen in love with this wee lad already? You can get your signed Emile Smith-Rowe shirt. Football Prizes bringing out some great ones in the next few weeks. And this is the kind of player that we need to get behind. And we hope, Kev, that he stays injury-free and has an amazing season. So please do go grab your ticket and win, because if you don't, Jags might. But by the way, if Jags wins, do you know what he's doing, Kev? He's donating his next win to the Highbury squad. And you know what we're going to do with it, don't you? We're going to re-auction it.
Re-auction it to the squaddies.
Absolutely. Definitely.
Hold on, by the way. Hold on a minute. Yeah. The next one, he's won about 600. He should have been donating about 4 before.
Listen, Matty K, Taib and Newman bocked him. I mean, ever since they gave Jags shit for winning all of the auctions, he's not won one single one. Bless
you know
him.
why? Because he hasn't gone in for him anymore. They've nobbled him.
Matthew, Martin, all of them. They're like, oh, God. Every time we come out with them, we're like, congratulations, Jags. Congratulations, Jags. Bless him. He's not won. He's not won any. Right. Will we be back tomorrow or not, Kev? I'm not sure. I don't think so.
We will not be back tomorrow because I've got to say it is the hostess with the mostest, Sophie's 50th tomorrow. So we're going to give her a much-deserved night off. But look, she's got the samurai ready. Everything.
The real one.
Is that right? So what we're going to do, we're going to have an extra special, Kev says, on Friday.
Yes.
Extra special one.
We're going to bring it, Kev. Bring it big time, as we always do.
It's going to be extra special.
Yes. Yeah. All right, lovely. So, Kev, it's down to you now to take out the squaddies. I completed my challenge. I did it.
And then some.
I did it.
She didn't get 5 in 25. She got 6 and a bit in 25. So there you go. And we had a couple of minutes to spare. So
exactly.
And look, what was only supposed to be a half an hour show is now 50 or 52 minutes, etc. So again, hostess with the mostest, always giving you what you want. All I could say, Sophie, for tomorrow, I wish you have, and I hope you have an absolutely fantastic 50th birthday.
Thanks, babe.
You don't look.
Kev.
You listen.
You're the
You
best.
don't look. You look about 25. I'm telling you. Hat to the back and all that. Love it. Absolutely love it. And listen, I hope you have a wonderful day tomorrow.
I appreciate that, and you.
And drink a little bubbles and eat a bit of cake and, you know, just enjoy the sunshine because the weather's turned here. Let me tell you, the weather's turned. It feels like winter here. I've got the candles all over there. I'm telling you, it feels wintry already. So listen, darling, you have a lovely one tomorrow. Squaddies,
thanks,
I
Kev.
salute you, and I know you're going to be sending a lot of love to Sophie on her 50th. But I've got to thank you, Squaddies, for sticking with us and helping us grow. So thank you so much. And Squaddies, we won't see you tomorrow. We're going to give you a day off, as it is international, so you can watch your games, etc. But be ready for a fantastic Kev Says Friday. Squaddies, I salute you.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.